Eryk Anders. He said it many a time. He's like, listen, I only got a couple fights left in my career, and these are not getting any easier. I mean, actually, this is getting substantially harder right here. All right, what does he got to do to make this fight competitive?
Ooh, man, make this fight competitive, Derek. You need to make it a dirty scrap on the inside, right? You need to be fast. You need to hit hard. You need to hit first and third, and then make sure that CLD starts to really respect that power that you're bringing. Because, I mean, as much as we like Eryk Anders, man, he has had a roller coaster of a career, and he really needs to not depend on just walking in with power and having the most thing. He needs to be able to get himself on the inside, stay there and protect it, and really start doing damage right there. The more technical this fight is, the more it leads to CLD having a victory and possibly a knockout, man. I do not like this fight for Eryk Anders. He said he doesn't have any left, so the UFC said, all right, we'll get you out quicker.
Yeah, man, and that's the hardest part. Is I'm a big Anders fan, dude. You know, and it's like, listen, he's fantastic, brown belt in jiu-jitsu, very skilled. He's got the big power. You know, in southpaw stance, he could wrestle, chain wrestle a little bit. But his path to victory, which is very close the distance, clinch him up against the cage and work there. I mean, CLD literally just had that fight against Puliev, you know, who just had a big win himself. He just had that fight. And what did he do when he got put in those positions? He punishes with elbows out the brink, spinning shots, just make you pay in the clinch situation. Now, I think Anders will have a pretty substantial, like a strength advantage, a physicality advantage in this one. But the question is, will that be enough? Will that be enough to deter CLD? Because when CLD goes downhill, man, I mean, it could be over very quickly, as you're alluding to right here, which is why I think it's actually interesting. If you look at the total on this one, 2.5 rounds, minus 185 for the over, plus 155 for the under. I think Anders' fight with Thiago Santos has really just kind of opened things up in terms of showing his durability right there. Like, it's a fight that happened a long time ago, but you look, the man's only been finished twice in his entire career. The man's got 25 fights, only been finished once or finished twice, one knockout, one submission. So it's like, all right, if there's a guy to finish him, unfortunately, it probably is CLD, you know what I mean? But CLD himself, your decision, Puliev, sorry, I'm going to keep butchering that name, and you lost the decision to Rodriguez. Maybe as the opposition gets stiffer, as more tenured veterans come in, maybe it will be harder to find that finish. Maybe you can't go on that long finish streak. So what are the odds? Are not literally the odds, but do you think that Anders can just survive and go 15 minutes?
I do, Derek. I mean, I know a lot of people were questioning his durability after the last Chris Weidman fight, but I feel like Anders has proved enough that he's very, very durable. The thing that does worry me, though, especially with how CLD is able to find the moments and hit, is Anders gets a little reckless on those entries because he needs to. He needs to close that distance in there. So that does worry me. Creative and explosive as much as CLD is, I think Anders can find those moments when in that chaos just to mix it up and have CLD thinking of something else that might, another X factor that might be happening in the fight. And that could possibly be his best path to victory right here. But I like the over.
Yeah, man. And I would think, like, if Anders is going to stall this one out, man, you need some takedowns. With clinch work, we already know. Grind him up against the cage, try not to get caught in the clinch, but 25% accuracy on the takedowns does not bode very well. 72% takedown defense for CLD, but that's the path, man. Take away that explosiveness, burn out those arms, you know, and then let the fight drag on because, again, CLD is really fun to watch, man. Flowy style, switches stances, and just kind of throws it all out there, man. So I'm gonna go CLD, unfortunately, because I'm a fan of Anders. I'm a big fan, but I'm gonna go CLD. I think that, you know, for the money makers out here, if you want to make some money, that's the rightful play. But AJ, you can't. What are we doing here? 6-1. I mean, minus 620 on CLD. Like, what are we doing here? So we have to find a path to make this viable. Take the over, right? Minus 185. And what else do we got right here? We got fight odds, points. Minus 115. I mean, that's doable. That's in the realm of possibility. And plus 170 for the TKO. Would you rather take that minus 115?
Yeah, all day. And look at this odds. It's going to change, folks. So I'm over here on FanDuel, plus 100 for CLD by points, plus 185. So the KO props are pretty similar. If you think this fight's going to go longer, the safest bet right here is by points for CLD. I mean, even minus 115, I'm taking that all day. Way better than what, 610? What was it?
Bro, yeah, what is it? Minus 620 money line for FanDuel. So CLD is going to be the pick right here. And we'll see. You know, that's just going to be another big name if he can get the job done right here. But it's not going to be easy. I think we can all agree on that one.